And summer is here, and we want to help you add some good reads to your summer. Author Melvin Lars to talk to us about his latest publications. Melvin, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
I am honored to have you. I want to talk about your books that we have right here on the table. You have 3 publications here. Tell us a little bit about what you put out recently.
Well, recently I put out a book called Mothers and Their Men, an introspective look at mothers rearing their sons. I wanted to hear from mom's perspective. You know, there are a lot of books out there about parenting, and everybody think they have the answer to parenting. And as men, whether we admit it or not, if the son is not doing really well, mom gets to blame. If the son is productive, then dad gets the credit. But mom, quite frankly, is the catalyst for it all. Yeah. So we want to write a book to hear moms' voices, and we're very fortunate to get over 500 surveys returned. And we have within all the conversation, we have Latino moms, Asian moms, African American moms, white moms, etc. Because we want to have a holistic view of moms actually talking about sons. And we hit several topics. Domestic violence, we always talk about that, and the effects of domestic violence. We always talk about relationships with moms and their sons. As a matter of fact, I have a quote, and I'm very serious. You know, am I my mom's son or my dad's mistake?
Wow.
So we just like to talk about letting them things there, and we've been very fortunate to have moms that were very, as I said earlier, receptive to sharing and talking about it. So we just try to continue with moving.
That's interesting. Well, you've got me hooked just telling me that right there. I definitely want to pick this up. And what an interesting approach to talk about mothers and their sons.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, and I really want to talk about Dying on My Feet. Melvin, you are what we can call a walking miracle. So tell me about this.
Please allow me to say I'm a 26-year survivor of acute promyelocytic leukemia. In 1990, I was diagnosed with acute promyelocytic leukemia. I was told that without a bone marrow transplant, I would not survive. We in a Shumpert hospital, and after several years of chemotherapy, of going into remission, coming out of remission, etc., we went to Dallas Salmon Cancer Treatment Center in Dallas, Texas, and virtually they sent me home to die. Very, very honestly, because they said there was nothing else they could do.
Wow.
And since August 4th, 1992, I have been cancer-free.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I am so happy to hear that.
Without the bone marrow transplant or any of the other things that they thought were going to have to happen.
Wow.
Yes.
Incredible. So this is a story about all of that.
It's a story about the leukemia survival, as well as just my overall life somewhat in general. Having grown up in a home fraught with domestic violence, I'll talk about that some and how it affects you and that kind of thing. So I want to encourage individuals and highlight individuals and talk to people about perseverance and about just hanging in there and making things happen.
Incredible. What an incredible story. I am so excited to get my hands on that. And what about mind muscle? This has me really intrigued.
Yes. Yeah, you know, mind muscle, to be very honest with you, being an athlete, I never liked the word student athlete because I understood the connotation. And if people check out the history, it had nothing to do with you being, quote, academically astute. It was all about some insurance stuff that colleges didn't want to pay. And so the largest came up with this word student athlete, saying that the young man was not an officer of the university. So make a long story short, the poetry, I love writing poetry. And my friends, they'd be nice to me. They call me the intellectual poet because they say that it makes them think, that it makes them engage in conversations that they may not otherwise engage in. So I put mind muscle there, kind of really as a needle for those who feel very strongly that athletes cannot articulate, that we don't go to class and pay attention, that the grades that we get, people give them to us, etc.
Yes.
So within the poetry, we're able to speak to a lot of different genres, a lot of different people, address a lot of different things. So one day it just popped in, and I was trying to decide what I was going to title the poetry book, and mind muscle just popped into my head.
So awesome. Yes, well, we want to encourage everyone to add all of these books to the reading list this summer. If you're sitting at home, you're sitting outside enjoying the pool, grab yourself a good book. We encourage you to read some stuff by Melvin Lars. Thank you so much, Melvin, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Where can we find these?
Actually, you can, if you go to my website, www.dyingonmyfeet.com, and you can find everything right there. Just go to the publications page, scroll down, and you can click and do whatever you need. Or I'm not above people giving me a personal call at my office number, 440-935-0374.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Melvin. I appreciate you being here. It's such an honor to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, stick around. We've got more Living Local after the break.